Okay, we're walking into the slips in Archibald, June the 9th, 2018. We're going to see how good the road is going down here. Well, we're still on the path heading down, and it certainly has changed here over the years. There's a retaining wall they built down there. This certainly has changed. Here's the creek now, and we're somewhere in the area of the old slips. This pipe is carrying the water out of Colley's Dam. Years ago it wasn't painted black. I'm not sure if it's a new replacement. It might very well be. Some of the nuts and bolts look pretty new there. It's hard to say where the exact location of the slips were. It's changed so much up here. Okay, we walked down a little further up, another 50 yards from that last spot where the water was coming out of the pipe, and we did find the old slips. Okay, there's where we were by that pipe, and right up the creek a little ways is the slips. Still about 4 or 5 feet deep too in this spot here where everybody used to swim. There's the jagged cliffs that were on the opposite side of it. The wall they had built up here was a little higher back in the days that I swam in it. Might have washed out since then. We are going to be doing a tour up here for the Archibald Historical Society. You just have to watch their Facebook page to see when the time and the date will be. Vegetation is very thick up here too. The mountain laurel's growing in nice. But we could get a group in here to the slips, no problem at all. This is the road going back up to where we parked the Jeep. And this is the road that takes you to the dam and the bathtub in the canyon. The creek is way down there, heavily grown in, and so far the road is very passable. Very good for a walking tour. That large rock between the trees is the canyon. It's the top of the canyon. And it looks like it may be very difficult to walk down here for a walking tour. Here's the side of the hill. To say that it's steep is an understatement. There's another filtration shed that's here a long time. And we're looking down towards the valley of the canyon. Still very impassable. But there's another view of the rock, the top of the canyon. We're still on the road and we're very near the dam, maybe 100 yards away. They've put concrete down here where you could really easily drive through the creek. It was all bumpy and rocky before and very easy to get through. And there's the dam. Another view of the wall of the dam. And not a whole lot of water coming over it. A few weeks ago it was. Lots of water with all that rain we had. We're on the way back now, and Doesn't look like we could do a walking tour to the bathtub or the canyon. It would be very difficult to get people down there without falling and getting hurt. Another good view of the rocks of the canyon. It's a nice dive off of there. The water was always deep enough to dive, and the swimmers used to lay their towels out on the rocks there when they get out. Probably a 45-degree drop straight down to the bottom. The bathtub is down in that area somewhere just west of the canyon, but it's very steep looking down. I'm working my way down a path, a very steep one, but it is passable. And I'm almost down at the canyon. Got a little ways to go though. Well, I made it down to the bathtub. Right there where the water is carved out a hole. It looks similar to a bathtub. Very cold water in there. Somebody left their shoes there. Another view of the bathtub. Probably a couple of feet deep, and any time of the year you swim in there or sit in there, it can be very, very cold water. Nice and cool down in this canyon area here. Very steep going up the sides of the wall. After a very rough climb, I made it to the canyon. Looking down into the canyon right now. Very deep water down there. Worming my way back from the canyon and bathtub up a different path. And here's an outcropping here. It's like a good place to get out of the weather if it starts raining. It goes way down in there. On the path right here on the way back up. And it is quite a slog. It'll be pretty difficult to do walking tours here, only for the ablest of walkers. It's at the top of this path. That's the narrow winding path that goes down to the bathtub and then over to the canyon. And I made it to the top of the path. This is the marker here, this rock with the notch in it. We're back out on the road now and headed back down towards the Jeep.